Hi, my name is Puma, and this is my NoLita apartment. So right off the entryway, we walk into the living space, which is usually where I spend most of my time. I like to host, I like to have people over, whether we're watching movies or sports games. This is usually where we kind of hang out. I love watching movies in my space, so for me, it was important to kind of have like a pretty well-sized television. But a huge thing for me is audio, which is why I have this Bang & Olufsen stage. They're a huge brand. I mean, I really love them. I have a lot of their pieces actually too. Their headphones over here, noise canceling, just as like, if I had like a top 3 essentials, this is like one of them. So one thing about this apartment is that I get a good amount of light. I have east and south facing windows, so I kind of get like a cross of both. But in the evening, of course, when there's no sun, I also supplement it with small lighting. I have this one that's completely dimmable by Menu. And then I also have another piece. This one's by Design Within Reach, all dimmable. Next to my TV, I have a bar. I want to say it's pretty stocked up, in my opinion. I'm a big whiskey guy, so I have a good amount of Japanese, Irish, American, all types of whiskey. So I actually want to make my own cocktail at some point. I actually have one that I created or was part of a show. I once went to this magic show called Cocktail Magique, and they kind of involved the whole audience to kind of create a cocktail that same night. Me and another attendee, we had created like this recipe together. It involved ginger, lemon, nothing too crazy, and whiskey. And I actually caught the recipe. It's part of my gallery wall over here. It's called the Sour Tart. And I've been kind of like reverse engineering it, and I think I might have figured it out. And I'll be making it for you and my team later. Right over here, I have a lot of like artwork and pieces. These are 2 pieces by my friend Tony Schoman. I have a 3rd piece as well in the bedroom. Plants are always like the #1 thing that everyone should have. It just kind of like livens up the space a lot. When you're alone, it's just like, I love having these plants because they're just like small living things in my apartment that, I don't know, it's important to me. And as a kid, I used to play guitar a lot. This is my first guitar. Little secret that I don't tell a lot of people is that I actually used to be part of a band. I played for like 2 years, a bunch of Spanish music. So that's a cool little fun fact about me. I used to teach at one point, and every now and then I still pick it up and like play with my friends or my family. So before we get to the gallery wall, I have a bunch of trinkets and knickknacks that I've collected over the past few years, and it's super important to me. This I actually got when I studied abroad in Paris with my 2 good friends, Augie and Smith. We spent 3 semesters traveling all over Europe, and they're probably one of my best memories I've had. This is a piece from Ecuador, and it's a section called Ingapirca. It's a replication of like an Incan artifact from the ruins that were left there in Ecuador. It's similar to Machu Picchu, if you guys all know that. And then I have a few other pieces here. My grandmother, who's close to home in my heart. This is a land camera that I picked up a few years back. One thing I like to do is actually collect vintage cameras. This is another one, Kodak. This is like one of the first ones I got. It's kind of cool. So one thing that I have been trying to do lately, it's 23andMe. I've been doing research on my last name. My last name is Puma and my first name is Jason. My family's been in Ecuador for a very long time. The Incans used to worship the Puma, the serpent, and the condor. And they were very much within the Ecuadorian, Peruvian regions. And I'm curious if my line goes back to that era. So I'm hoping that 23andMe can kind of help me figure that out. This is a huge thing for me. It's Kid Cudi's Man on the Moon 2. I think I got it signed at Firefly Festival, 2018, 17, something like that. And I mean, this album is probably one of my top albums of my entire life. I think a lot of people are Kid Cudi fans, and he's super, super important to a lot of people and to me. I think I'm gonna actually get this framed, which was my friend Isaiah's idea. So soon I am actually gonna get this framed on the wall. All right, cool. So this is my gallery wall, which I spent a good amount of time kind of building together and collecting over the past few years. I have a few pieces from Andy Blank that I actually really like and I picked up. And then his partner, actually, CJ Hendry, she's also an artist and she kind of put this together. I have the 2nd piece in my bedroom as well. And then I have a few other pieces here. This is a photo shot by Rob Loud. He was the Killers photographer. And this photo is of Brandon Flowers, the lead singer of the Killers, and Matt Schultz, who is the lead singer of Cage the Elephant. They're 2 of my favorite bands. When I saw this photo, I just reached out to Rob and I just had to have a print. And then I have a few other pieces here. This was a shot on film that I captured of the Golden Gate Bridge of San Francisco. I did a quick West Coast trip with my friends, and it was a photo that I really enjoyed, and it was like a cool moment because it started downpouring on us the one time we went out there to visit the Golden Gate Bridge. And so it was like a cool memory that we all collected, and so I decided to frame it. This is a mini racket. It's a collaboration between Kith and Wilson. I actually have the life-size racket over there, and it's a piece that I'm gonna have for a very long time, and because of my love and obsession at this point for tennis. This up here is actually the listed plaque. Thank you to everyone who has subscribed to us, who has supported us from the start. We are well over 100,000 now, but it was a big moment for us because we've been working hard to kind of create all these series and content for you guys to enjoy and to kind of like promote this lifestyle and home content. And so I'm happy to now be in front of the camera instead of behind the camera. And shout out to my team for also helping along the way. I touched on this one a little bit already. It's the recipe note from that Cocktail Magique show. If you guys get a chance, go watch them. They do a fantastic job with it, and I'm a big fan of it. Over here, I picked up this lamp from IKEA. It's like insane quality. It's like real wood. There's like a darkened glass with it and a whole marble base. It's probably one of my favorite pieces that I've seen in IKEA, and as soon as I saw it, I was like obsessed with it, and I just needed to pick it up. I think it's well worth it, and it's probably one of my favorite lamps I'll have. As everyone's first apartment ever, I was in need of a couch, and I didn't have one at the moment. And so one of my coworkers, who was at SERHANT, actually had it, and she handed it down to me. And the couch actually originated as Ryan's couch, Ryan SERHANT's couch. So this was his first couch in his office, handed down to my coworker, who then upgraded it, and so I took it as its new owner, and I'll see if I can pass it on to anyone else.
I call dibs next.
All right, that's yours. Actually, it is yours. Like. And so this is the living space. I've spent about 3 years trying to put it together to what I feel comfortable with and what makes me feel at home. It's not a process that can be done in a week or a month. When I first moved into the apartment, this wall was bare for 2 years before I got over my analysis paralysis and actually moved forward and put it all up. And everything is collected, and you throw some stuff out, you find some stuff on Facebook Marketplace, which is where I lived for the first like year, just finding small stuff like the shelf, and a lot of pots and small furniture pieces. So it's a long process, but at the end of the day, I think my best piece of advice would be to not rush it and to find pieces that you really love and cherish and you will care for a long time. And for me, I'm always willing to invest in quality. So stuff like the lamp, which is aggressively expensive for IKEA. It's a well put together lamp, and it's a piece that I really love. Or like the Bang & Olufsen Stage sound bar. It's not a product that everyone needs. Like the TV has its own audio, but to me, it's such an important feature for my experience when I'm watching movies or shows or music. That is just, it's so much more valuable to me. So that's my biggest piece of advice. Okay, next up, we have my bedroom. I don't spend a lot of time in here. I am the type of guy that I'm only here when I need to sleep. And when I get up, I don't like to lay in bed. So I just get up and either go to the gym, go to work, make breakfast, or watch F1 if it's Sunday. This is my small desk that I do some work out of. This is a custom piece created by my dad. Growing up, he was a big carpenter. He would always teach me a few things, and so he kind of made this for me when I first moved out here. And so I keep it to store all of my vintage cameras. This is a NoLita, Mamiya, a couple Instax and a Nikon. This actually is kind of cool. I picked it up in a garage sale, I want to say. I didn't really recognize it at first, but I kind of like gravitated towards it. What I came to find out is that on the show How I Met Your Mother, in Lily and Marshall's apartment, they actually have the same exact prop. And so when I found that out, it just kind of like put a whole new meaning to it. And so for me, it's one of my favorite shows. I watched it like maybe 8 times growing up. So to me, it's like a quick reminder of me and my siblings always kind of watching it in the summers. So for me, investing in your sleep is huge, whether it's the mattress, the duvet covers, or the pillows itself. Like I said, I focus on quality, and to me, sleep is super important, and that's not something I would sacrifice. On this side of the wall, I have the third Tony Showman piece. This one is a lighter version of the other ones, and to me, I just really love kind of like the geometric shapes and everything behind it. Like every New York City apartment, I have the smallest kitchen ever. It's not much. I make use of it. I love to cook and I love to host, so I kind of make what I can with it. I've done a lot of dishes. I have some pesto over here that I'm actually making for my team. We're gonna have a dinner here after. It's nothing too crazy outside of a regular kitchen. This, I guess, I use every single day. I think this is big in Italy, but for me, I've used this for like maybe 8 years. Not this exact same one, but this is like maybe my 4th one. And I make, it's like, I think it makes like 6 espresso shots, and I drink those every single day, which is probably not good for me, but it's how I drink every single day. So I'm always with a coffee in hand while I'm walking around work. And so here's the bathroom. I have a piece by Osvaldo Guayasamín. He is an Ecuadorian painter, probably one of the most famous painters to come out of Ecuador. His artwork is very well known for its deep emotion and power. He was an artist very much focused on political activism and oppression and class division. You most likely have seen his work in the past, and I was fortunate enough to actually grab a print from the museum, and so I had it framed here in the bathroom, and it's probably one of my cooler pieces that I have. And that's it. That is my apartment tour here in NoLita. To all of our subscribers at Listed, really appreciate you guys, all 100,000 of you. We're going to 1 million next. We've been doing this for 3 years, and we couldn't have done it without you. From us and the team, I really appreciate all your support and love. If you haven't, please subscribe. Please like this video, comment, and if you want to see more content of mine, you can follow me on Instagram at Jason A. Puma. Thank you guys.
All right, guys, Listed is out. First episode. Congrats, you two. Let's fucking go. If you haven't watched it already, go watch it. Oh, that's not it.